Hello everyone. Welcome to our another video in the series on mastering data structures and algorithms. I am Dr. Prashant K. Gupta. In the last video, we started on the topic of merging the arrays. In case you haven't watched that video, I advise you to go and watch that video. Merging means to combine the values from one or more arrays, and the resultant array contains the values from all the merged arrays. In the last video, we talked about the arrays can be in any sorted order, not necessarily the values have to be in ascending or descending order. However, over here in this video, we will be seeing how to merge the sorted arrays. So let's begin. This is my website and contains all the information about me. By passion, I am a researcher and a teacher. Now, case 2 that we'll be discussing over here is about merging the sorted arrays. Therefore, the challenge over here is that the sorted order of the array values has to be maintained even after the merging has been performed. First thing. Second, most important thing, in this array have been assumed to be sorted in ascending order. In case they have to be are already in descending order, then the checks may differ. So this is our algorithm. We have A, B are the arrays from which we have to merge the values and generate an array C. The size of A is n, the number of elements that are currently stored in array A. The size of B is m, the number of elements currently stored in B. And after the merger of these two, the size of C will become Siz. Now, we begin our program and let's see how this works. IJK we have assumed to be some random variables. Let's say that the arrays A and B contain respectively these set of values. So now you can see the values in A are sorted in itself and the values in B are sorted in itself. But they are necessarily not sorted according to each other. So we'll see how we bring out the array C after merging the values from both A and B. And the resultant array C contains the values from both A and B in sorted order even after merging. So the value of n is 6 and that of m is 5. In the first step, both the ij as well as the k are set to 0. Over here now you can see I will be the index that will be used for comparison inside the array A. J will be the element that will be used for indexing the elements of array B. And k will be used for indexing the elements of array C that will be formed after the merger of the arrays A and B. Now, our first step checks the value of k to be less than n plus m minus 1, just to make sure that the arrays don't go out of bounds. Now, let's see. So in this step, the value of k initially being 0 in this step is compared over here in the first step. The value is 0 and it is definitely less than n plus m minus 1, that is 10. This check is true. Therefore, these statements inside the loop will be executed. Now over here are some of the important checks. This check, a of I less than equal to b of j, compares step by step the values that are at the current index pointed by I inside the array A to the value at the current index pointed by j inside array B. Whichever of the two values is less, that value will be assigned to array C. Also, another very important check that is performed over here is that of comparison of I value should be less than equal to n minus 1. Now, since this is condition 1 and this is condition 2, and we are performing the logical AND of the two conditions. So if any of the condition fails, the result of the two condition will be false. So either our array A becomes empty or the value in the array A is greater than the value of B. In either of the cases, the statement inside this if will not be executed. And the control jumps to else part. Again in else, we are performing the check that j value should be less than equal to m minus 1, which means that we are making sure that the B is also not running out of the index bound. So let's see. In the first step, the value of I is initially 0. So A of I over here actually points to the value at the first index, that is 9. And B of j is also j value 0 points to the value at the first index. So now you can actually see over here A of 0, that is 9, is greater than B of 0. Since one of the condition is false, therefore the control jumps to the else part. Therefore, these two statements are not executed. So the value of j is less than equal to m minus 1. Yes, this is true. J is 0 and m is less than equal to m minus 1, that is 4. This check is true. Therefore, C of 0 gets the value from B of 0, that is lesser of the two values. The result of this statement execution, you can see K gets the value from B of 0. Oh, sorry. C of 0 gets the value B of 0 and the value of K is now will be incremented. Let's see how. Now you can see the J value is also incremented as well as the K value is also incremented. So in the next iteration, currently K being shown as 0 over here, in the next step, it will jump to this iteration. So now you can see initially again. Now we come inside again the loop. Now the value of A of I, that is 9, is compared against the value at B of j, that is 8. Now you can see, since in the previous iteration the I value was not incremented and j value was incremented, so therefore I is still at the first index only. So the value of 9 is compared against 8. Since again this check fails, so therefore these statements are again not executed and the control jumps to the else part. So value of j, okay, sorry, this is 1 over here. The value of j, that is 1, is less than m minus 1, that is 4. This is true. Therefore, C of 1 gets a value of B of 1 and again j and k will be incremented. So now you can see this is the result. Similarly, in the third step, this A of I is still over here and B of j contains the value 9. Now over here, since the check is true for A of I less than equal to B of j, so both these values are equal. And therefore, these statements now will be executed and also I value that is less than equal to n minus 1. Therefore, C2 now gets the value of A of 0. I will be incremented now and K will definitely be incremented. So now you can see the result. Similarly, in this case, in the next step, this 9 from array B will be inserted in array C. Again, in the next step, this value 11 will be inserted at the end of the array C. Why? Because over here, the value 12 is greater than the value 11. Now, in the next step, the value at B is 77, which is definitely greater than all the remaining values of A. So step by step, all these values will be inserted at the end of the C. Let's see how. 12 will be inserted, then 13, 17, 18, 65 will all be inserted. So now the value of I will become I plus 1, that is 6, and I will go out of bounds over here. So in every scenario, you will see this condition will become false and I value, that is 6, greater than n minus 1. So this if part will never be executed because as one of the condition is false, the logical AND of the two conditions will always give a negative result. So now the value of j is compared against m minus 1. J is 4, that is equal to m minus 1 since this check is true. Therefore, C10 gets a value of B of 4. So this 77 will be inserted at this position. J will be incremented and also the resulting value of K. So now you can see the K value becomes 11 and it becomes greater than 10. So all these statements inside the while loop are not executed. And the control jumps to statement number 5 and the value of size is set to n plus m equal to the number of elements from both the arrays. This is the conversion to the C program. You can see over here the size of A has been restricted by A max 1, B max 2 and C has been restricted by max 1 plus max 2. So now in this first step, all these three statements are straightforward assignments inside the C statement. Now, while k is less than equal to n plus m minus 1, this check is performed with this line. Now inside this loop, it is a straightforward application of if else parts. So if A of I is less than equal to B of j and I is less than equal to n minus 1, this is the check in this line. So Ck gets the value of A of I and I is incremented over here. Else, we are comparing the value of j is less than equal to m minus 1. Therefore, Ck gets the value bj. J is incremented. Outside these two loops, the value of k is incremented. And when the program exits, the value of size is set to n plus m. Thank you all for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more and more good videos that will coming up soon. Thank you.